afternoon, everyone, to another episode of the Con-Versation. Have to forgive me, I'm a little bit tired after this weekend. I have to say it was a good 8 hour drive at least.
Whew. Us, it was 6. So.
Well, you live 2 hours north of me. No wonder.
Well, that's how it works. That's how it works. But it was fun.
Yes, it was very fun. Very fun. And I apologize to everybody for the con hour. Didn't get much videos done. I was very busy taking care of what I had to take care of there. Mm-hmm. And
as was I.
And of course, we had our panel, which was fun. If you ever go to a panel, you have to go to one of our panels. Yeah. we make sure people are interactive. Mm-hmm. Or I make sure people are interactive.
But they were laughing too, so
Yes, it's the first time I've actually seen a panel grow. Mm-hmm.
So by the end, I think we're doubled in size, at least.
Mm-hmm. Easily. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we're not here about me or the con hour. We're here for the conversation. And we are here today with author C.J. Peterson. Hey, I got the name right this time. And I believe you have a book launch coming up. Is that today or?
It is today at 6, and it's for Chain Reaction, which I just got in my hot little hands the other day. And so I'm super, super excited. It's tonight at 6. There's going to be multiple participating authors: Michael Wigington, Patty Wiseman, Jackie Smith, Lydia Mann, Jeff Craig, and of course me. And each of us are bringing a special prize to give away. And all you have to do is show up and comment to be entered in, and you can win a prize.
Are you sure you're going to be there?
I think so. It's kind of touch and go on if I'm actually going to be there or not. But yeah, I think I'll be there.
Yeah, you never know. But tell us about these books. I know it's oh, good Lord, I can't even think today. A series. There we go.
This actually is a standalone. Chain Reaction is by itself. I do have a couple of standalones. This is one of them, and it's a time travel book. Hi, Julie. It's a time travel book, and it's kind of the reverse butterfly effect. You know how you're not supposed to go back in time and change things? Well, this guy is like the last in his family line. So he goes back to his great-great-great-grandmother, and together they go back in time to change their family's history by kind of changing a few crucial choices that certain ancestors made. So they've gone to 1813, 1922, and 1987 in an effort to save their family line.
And what inspired you to write something like this?
Well, a lot of times people are like, you're not supposed to change your history. And the great what if question. What if you could change just a few choices? What exactly would happen? So, for example, the 1813 one, their relative initially killed Oliver Hazard Perry, the one who won the Battle of Lake Erie on Put in Bay before the battle started. So therefore, America lost, which changed history. So in them changing the choice that their ancestor made, Oliver Hazard Perry was able to win the Battle of Lake Erie. And so it kind of gives you like a in-depth look into it. And it's kind of unique for me. I like challenges. I've done a couple different series. This is like my 17th book I think I have out. And so I stick kind of more to the sci-fi because I'm a sci-fi geek. And so I thought, what happens if we actually just change a little bit of it? And so, and making a few crucial choices and kind of helping their ancestors out, it allowed them to make the choices necessary. So, but in making those choices, sometimes if you make the wrong choice, your future, you may cease to exist. And so that's something they're battling of, okay, we made this one, this choice is made, but when you go forward, if we make this choice, are we still going to be here by the time it all shakes out? And so that's their main question. The thing, are we going to make it? So the question is, what would you do to save your family line or future generations?
But that could alter who they are too, couldn't it?
It does.
So their choices are reflected upon what they do.
Mm-hmm. And what shakes out throughout history. So, and
Well,
then
that is
there's the question of, are you going against the grand plan design by stopping this particular incident from happening, or are you helping the grand plan design by switching this incident from happening? So it's a lot of moral questions in there, and I love books that question, moral questions, heavy ones, and so that's the kind of stuff I love to dive into, and I love a challenge, and I've never done any type of historical fiction. So this one was a new one for me. So I like challenges.
so. How much did you have to go back and review the history?
I did quite a bit, especially when it came to, yes, it is out in print. You just go to Amazon, put Chain Reaction by C.J. Peterson. It's $14.95 in print. It will look like that. And it's also 99 cents on ebook today. I'm not sure how long I'm going to have it for 99 cents, so grab it while you can. What was the question?
The research for the history.
Oh, the research for the history. Well, obviously for Battle of Put-in Bay, it is a set time and place, to quote Doctor Who. You can't really change a whole lot in that. So I didn't have a whole lot of flexibility. So there's a lot of stuff that's like direct historical stuff that I had to make sure to get correct. Regarding the 1922 incident, their relative was a runner for a speakeasy. So that I had a little more play with. And then the 1987, they're trying to save their relatives from dying in this plane crash that happened in Michigan in 1987. And initially it lost the whole family. And this really did happen. Only one 4-year-old survived the entire plane crash. And so it's like they're trying to stop their relatives from getting on that plane. And so there were some things that were kind of slightly hard and fast. Some I could kind of bend a little bit. But to keep the realism in it, there's a lot that I couldn't bend with.
Very interesting on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this going to be a standalone, or do you think you're actually going to make a sequel, but with a different family and different history aspects?
I'm not sure on the second question, but on the first one, this one is a standalone. However, Texas Sisters Press puts out a holiday anthology each year. And during the course of this book, she mentions that these two go all the way back to 1650 Ireland to save the Christmas that almost wasn't. And that's the story in the holiday anthology. So it's like a little short story on its own. So they can kind of go together, but they can kind of be separate. But going back to 1650 Ireland was a whole lot of research, because you had to be very careful on, okay, yes here, no here, yes here, no there, because that's when Cromwell was outlawing Christmas. So it's like I had to work the two together on purpose, and I had to literally write them at the same time.
And how long have you been writing?
I have been writing or published. That's two different questions.
Writing
Since probably senior in high school.
And published?
Published since 2012.
And what got you started into writing?
It was an escape from my real life. I grew up in an abusive situation, and then I was adopted, thankfully, by a family that loved me. That's the Mann family, and they changed my life. But until then, that was my form of escape, because I had control over the storyline, which I didn't have in real life. And so that allowed me to escape and to, create a world around me that, I could control. I have like 45 books written. So as I go through to publish them, I take the initial idea and kind of tweak it a lot. And then
I don't know who that's coming from, but
I don't know either. And, you kind of get kicked in the teeth, because people are like, it's just a hobby. Why are you doing that? It's stupid. And it's like, no, it's an escape. It's a way that allows me to deal and allows me to have control. And so when it came to actually publishing the books, that's putting your heart out there. So it's almost like you're putting it out there going, please don't step on my heart. And so when you go to write them, I didn't want to do it, as a lot of artists are. Our artistry is in writing, whereas others are in either pencil or chalk or paint or whatnot. Ours is in words. And so we still have a lot of the same, anxieties. Is this going to fly? Is anybody going to like this? And so my husband, I read him one of the books, Strength from Within, and he said, you really do need to publish this. He goes, the words in here can help people. So we talked about it, we prayed about it. God and I made a deal that I would, Trevor and I would publish the books and he would get them into the hands of those who need them. And I've kind of just let it go because, that's my ministry, but however it goes or whoever's hands they land in is up to God. So, and it's worked. We've gotten tons of positive feedback. And of course you have those naysayers that are in there that gut you out. And, unless it's constructive criticism, like I'm okay for constructive criticism. If you can tell me I didn't like this, maybe if you did this instead, I'm all for that type thing. I'm all for listening to instruct, potential ideas for next books. But if you just go in there to slaughter somebody, I'm not really going to listen to it because then you're just going out to hack at somebody. And, my favorite thing that I love is putting people in the books because I'm kind of known as a literary assassin. And so a lot of times people are like, can I be a character in your book? And I'm like, well, sure. And then the next thing out of their mouth is, please don't kill me. And I'm like, but I can make it such a glorious death. I'm like, no, you cannot kill me. So it's fun. I love doing it.
I'm laughing over something I got this weekend with the please don't kill me. But what's next for you?
Well, I'll be working on another standalone. This one's one that's kind of been in the works for a while. It's the basic storyline is that moral question again, where a fire marshal falls in love with the narcissist before he realizes it's her. So there's a moral. Like I said, I love moral dilemmas of what are you going to do? How is this going to play out? And so that's always my favorite type of books to write and read.
So basically, does he let her keep on, or does he turn her in, or does he join her?
No, he won't join her. But the question is, does he turn her in, or has she redeemed herself enough that it may be another way to fix it? You won't know until it all shakes out. I'm a pantser when it comes to writing. So I literally sit down, pray, and write and let the book. I don't know how they're going to end myself until it's done. Oh, yes, I will sign it for you. Just let me know when we're together and I will definitely sign it for you. And thank you. But I never know how they're going to end. And I love that aspect of it. So honestly, what they're going to do, I don't know. I can't tell you for sure.
That's always one of the best ways to have stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the planners give me hives. I can't be locked in.
I tried that once, and like I said, I ripped up the outline after chapter 3. It's like, no, this ain't happening.
No. Well, the other reason there was one book, Strength from Within, was my first book out, and I actually rewrote it and republished it. And that normally a book will take me between 1 month to maybe 3 months for a trilogy to write. And so I'm usually pretty quick at it. But just this one book took me a solid sitting down of 6 months with like another 6 months out there kind of trying to tweak stuff left and right. And it was very painful for me. So I will just stick with my pantser stuff. I'm good with that.
Like I said, I know that feeling quite well. But with all this, where can people find you online?
Oh, I make it as easy as possible. Online, my website is C.J. Peterson Writes, CJPetersonWrites.com. My online handle is, generally speaking, it's going to be at authoress_CJ. There's a few where I've had to take the underscore out, but otherwise, that's the general idea of how you can find me.
And is there anything that you would like to tell people who might be getting into writing or just becoming or thinking about being an author, haven't quite published, to get them motivated into doing so?
Get the sand in the box. What that basically means is if you've got the story in your head, get it on the paper. You can't do anything with it until you've got the basic gist down there. Have fun with it. Don't lock yourself in. You know you're going to be editing it over and over and over again, but at some point you got to pull that trigger and let it go. So that's kind of where I would say it. You are in control of the story. So, have fun with it. Ask those major what if questions and see where it takes you.
Oh, very good. But anyway, that is going to be our time for the day. And you will be on at 6 p.m. tonight, I believe you said.
Yes, 6 p.m.
And
will be on Facebook, on Texas Sisters Press's page on Facebook. Will be on my LinkedIn, which again, you can look me up, c.j.peterson or at authoress_CJ on LinkedIn. And my YouTube channel, which is CJ Peterson. And so, yep, at 6 o'clock, come join in the fun. You can win tons of prizes because there's plenty of authors coming, plenty of stories to go out there, plenty of fun to be had. So make sure to show up at 6, comment to be entered into the wheel of names, and we'll spin it and see who wins live.
oh, very good. So everybody join her show tonight for her book launch party. And I really won't see anybody until September 29th.
Wow. Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Thank you for joining. And everyone, we will see y'all at the end of the month. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.